All right. All right, so let's jump into this press. I'm doing these videos for everybody. I just want to make sure that I'm on the same page with everybody going into the spring season so that way people know what they need to work on. I know me and you have talked quite a bit, so you have a pretty good understanding, but I think being able to draw and like show you what I'm visually looking at right when I look at your film is super helpful. So, first things first, right? We're going to start with some basics. So, the stance, the triangle resembles exactly where your balance point is. So, your balance looks relatively good, right? Pretty much 50-50. And then from there, the only thing that should really change with the stride is the distance and how far out in front. I wouldn't even put it that far. I think you should land like right about there, to be honest with you, so you can keep your feet under you, your energy under you, about a shoe size forward. Now, the next thing after that is the leg lift, right? So you've added this negative move while sitting into this here, right? Into this back hip with some coil. And then when you start to go forward with your stride, you start to go back with your upper half. All right? I know there's a lot of drawing, but this gives you you should understand what I'm saying if you listen. And if you have to replay it, replay it. So, first things first, right? Into the leg lift, do we coil the hip, right? And you've been doing a preset, which is kind of cool. Right there, that's the preset. And then, there we go. So you come up, and then you coil a little bit. And this position here is really, really good, right? Where you really need work is from this point forward. From this point forward, you should be sitting more like here and like in sitting in your legs into landing while keeping this coiled. And the thing that was wrong with your stride before wasn't necessarily that you weren't capable of having the hip coiled or having the ground force on the backside. It's the fact that when you stride too long, you lose all of this. So now you're like efficiently getting into these positions, but when you play it forward, right? And this is what I've been trying to say in like voice message, like you land where your legs are so spread apart that you lose the tension in the backside and the coil loses a little bit of its it loses a little bit of coil. So the way you have to think about it is like how where can I land where I hold this position, where I hold the coil, right? And the answer is pretty much where you started, right? Because if we go back to your stance, you have flexion here, but you're not trying to get flexion, right? And then you kind of lean and you come up. And like I said when you were at Tufts the other day, when this front foot comes up for you, you're getting tall on this side. That can't happen. You have to be able to sink here while this comes back. It can't be something where this back leg can get long because you're not holding that weight down while you lift the leg. You got to be able to hold the position on the backside while you lift the front leg, and make sure that the front leg isn't manipulating where the backside is. All right. So then from there, anyways, you coil. Everything's good. Everything's good. Everything's good. If you were to land like right here, right, and this is like generally speaking where you should land, you can see that you have this still, and you can see that the hip is back here, right? And you're in a really good position, and even the hands are in a really good spot comparatively to like where they end up landing. So then we play it forward, boop, 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 boop. And you stride close. You're almost on the white there. See how the toe's almost on the white, right? And where you so this is, I'll dot it up. So this is where you landed, right? And then this is where you started. But you land, sorry, this is because the camera angle. This is where you land, and that's where you start. So you're striding, so think of it this way, right? This distance gets added here. So before you were striding too far forward, you'd be landing about there if you were striding forward instead of this way. So you need to learn how to land almost exactly where you start, or like a foot size this way. So that way you can keep the hip coiled and keep tension in the backside. Once, and this is what I've been saying, is now you're efficiently loading, but you're still deloading on the back end because of the stride. Your body's not staying compact enough into the landing where you're gonna get a lot of power. What this reminds me of is like from a lower half standpoint, Junior Caminero, where he's like very dive heavy and like going forward, as opposed to like backside dominant adjustability, utilizing the squats and the cleans that you've been working on type deal. Get what I mean? And he's also a tall dude, so he's using height to come down to the ball, and he's getting aggressive with it. Where you're a smaller guy comparatively to him by like what 5 inches or so, and you can't play the same game, right? It's like you're not gonna swing the same as like Bobby Witt, because Bobby Witt's another 6'4" frame. That's just not how it works. His body and his levers call for different moves, and your strength, like we've been talking about, is your lower half. So having the stride width that's similar to these dudes who are leveraging height, it's not gonna work. It's just not. So, and it's also messing with your timing now, right? So like you said, that this feels much better timing wise, right? It's gonna be even better when you finally start landing shorter, because now the distance that you're having to get the foot down, and the time that you're allowed to let the ball travel more, cause the distance of the stride is astronomically better, right? So think of it this way, like, and when you're talking hitting, you're talking milliseconds. So if this is where you land, where I have the line here, and then this is where you've been landing, you're gaining that much more time, right, to see the ball, and as well as get the foot down. So not only does your foot have to travel a shorter distance to the point where it has to come down, but you can also get it down later and have better pitch recognition because of it. So that's what you need to work on there. And then the bat, elbow and hands kind of come down together. Back gets disassociated from the body a bit. It's not terrible. Backside gets released, which is good, right? We see how the toe, we have a drag toe. You're dragging your backside there. And then front leg locks out. And even though it's a bad point of contact, because you were late, it looks like, and you just like clipped it, the point of contact's pretty much, look at, you're balanced here, heel to the sky, this locks out, you're in palm up, palm down. It's just a slight issue of timing, right? But in terms of like getting your body into the position where it needs to be at the point of contact, that's excellent. So to go back, this is better. This position right here is perfect. Like, no exaggeration, this position right here is perfect. But you lose it once you start overstriding. So keep your weight under you, keep your energy under you, be more compact, stay within yourself more, and the swing will come together, right? You'll be able to hold all this tension, and then you're gonna see EV goes up, bat speed goes up, everything goes up even more than you've already seen. And then the other thing, like I was saying, is if you only have to drop your foot here, right? I'll put a line like there, versus you were dropping it like here, right? This means you have to start your stride and land earlier. This means you can sit in this position like we were talking about and then land later. So you now, not only do you not have like ridiculous forward energy, right? You can just hover in this position here and then just put the foot down later on when it's time to swing. You have more time to read the pitch out of the hand and react to the pitch just because of that alone, and it's giving you more power because you're able to stay in your backside mechanics. Alright, hopefully this video helps. Maybe it cleared up a thing or two, I'm not sure. I know we've talked about it a bit, but again, I think it's better for you to see it when I'm talking about it and pointing it and rewinding and what have you, so let me know.